bookworms, my name is Celia and welcome to my channel. This is just gonna be a really casual video. I'm not gonna edit this, but so it's very freeform, so I'm just gonna put all the key points here. I'm just gonna say everything I meant, basically I'm here to just like talk a little bit about, not go too in depth, but talk a little bit about the fact that I haven't really been posting that much, and I'll also talk about my reading since I've been in a bit of a slump, but what are my plans for that, like how's my bookish life going and all of that. So I understand if this kind of video isn't your cup of tea because this isn't my usual content, so I won't be offended if you skip this one. But I do have one video filmed. I was tagged by the Reading Wren in the main character book tag, was it called? And I did film that, but I have not started editing it yet. So it might be a second before that one gets put out. But yes, to address the elephant in the room, I have not been posting. I've mentioned it, but I have been in the biggest slump. Well, actually, I have had bigger slumps, but my biggest reading slump in a while. And it's been reading, it's also been kind of everything else as well. So I really haven't had much motivation, and just like the thought of editing a video is like, oh. But I am starting up my ADHD meds again. I had to go off them for a while to like see if they were causing some side effects or if it was just like coincidental, and it's a whole mess that I'm not gonna get into. But so far I'm like, I don't want to jinx anything, but I'm like feeling like I'm getting a little bit better. So I'm hoping to be able to get back into the swing of things, especially now that before we had two different courses. One of them is this like really big project thing that's like 20 credits. In our school, one credit is like 27 hours of work, so it's like a really big thing. And then we had another course on top of that, so that course is over now, so now I only have this one course to focus on. So I'm hoping that that will also like free up more time for me, and that I'll be able to focus on some of my hobbies as well, and obviously make more content for you and also watch more content. I am so sorry to any of my bookish friends and mutuals who are watching this. I have not been very active in this community, and if you're wondering why you haven't seen me comment in a while, it's because I really have just kind of, I definitely have a lot of catching up to do, and I just like, I see the thumbnails and the titles, I'm like, oh, this sounds so cool, I really am going to watch this. So I am going to like, I think during the weekend when I have time, probably gonna like binge watch all of them. But yeah, as I said, I do have a video made. I'm not sure when that's gonna be put out because I don't want to make any promises on how much energy I'll have to edit, because I don't even know. But also I might try to like switch things up to something more freeform. Obviously editing is like a really big process for me, as you can tell from this unedited video. I pause a lot, and I'm also very tired right now, so you know, that's a little bit part of it. But I'm a whole mess, so that's why I tend to have to edit my videos a lot, so it's been kind of a daunting thing to have that like be like oof. But on a happier note, I actually finished my first book since I think the last book I finished was in August. I read in September, like I've been reading a little bit, but I haven't finished a book since August. And I reread A Song for the Wild. I reread A Song for the Wild Built. I've talked about this book a lot. It's my favorite book, and I absolutely love it so much. I think I'm gonna read the sequel as well. I mean, I've read it before, but I think I'm gonna reread it as well because I just love this book so much. But yes, happy news. I finished a book. Yay! And yeah, I think that's a good transition into what is my TBR plans for this month. I'm thinking that since I've been I have like some books that I've started and like I don't really want to make a whole nother TBR, like I might want to finish some of those or just do like read whatever I feel like instead of sticking it to a TBR. I mean, not that the my TBR game is like very high pressure, like I'm not like that worried about it obviously, but I'm just feeling like I'm just not gonna do one this month. I am going to we are going to make one roll for one book in this format because I can't be bothered to film it from another angle. So we'll do that later or soon. I also want to talk about a little bit today because today was a really fun day for me. Our class went to Helsinki for like a school thing, but that was only in the morning. So in the afternoon, me and my friend just, went to some shops and I bought some books obviously, and it was a lot of fun, and that actually got me really excited to read some of them and like really got me more excited about reading again. So that's why I kind of wanted to talk a little bit about this. So I ended up buying 4 books from 2 different stores. First we went to this like game store where they sell a lot of manga, and I finally bought 2 manga that I've heard so much good things about. The first one is I Think Our Son is Gay, Volume 1. I've heard that this is such a wholesome manga. I know it's like from the point of view of this mom who has like a teenage son who is like, and she's like, he's probably gay, and she's like supportive, but letting him tell her when he's ready and all of that. And everything I hear about this book is just, I've finally been like, okay, I'm going to read it. And the other one is I Want to Be a Wall, Volume 1 as well. This is one that I've also had on my radar for a bit since it has an asexual character. It's like this marriage between an asexual woman and a gay man. Obviously I haven't read it and I don't know too much about it other than that, but just the fact that we can have a manga with like actually like canon asexual rep, like asexual like literally written in like the description, I'm like, we've really come a long way. I'm so happy about this. But yeah, those were from the sort of more game center store. And then what I love in Helsinki, there's this big store. Since in Lahti we only have like one bookstore, I think. There's some like, I guess there's some like that sell used books. So, but it was so exciting to go to Helsinki because me and my friend are always like, every time we go to Helsinki for anything, always like, we gotta go to this bookstore because it's so big, and it has like such a big selection of English books as well, which is like one of my biggest gripes with buying books, is I usually have to order them online because the English selection is kind of sparse. But it has just like, it's amazing, and it's like my personal paradise. So the first book that I got is As Long as the Lemon Trees Grow. And I don't know too much about this, but I saw this in the store and I was like, I've definitely heard amazing things about this. I know it has something to do with like Syria. Yeah, Syria. And I've heard that it's like really emotional and really good. So I got this one, and it was also like pretty cheap. Well, cheap is relative, but like compared to what the other prices in the store were, I was like, that's pretty good. And then the final book that I got is Queer, a collection of LGBTQ writing from ancient times to yesterday. And yeah, this one I haven't heard of before, but I saw this in the store and it like immediately caught my eye because obviously queer. And I just think it's so interesting, and I think it will be, this is probably one of those books that I probably am not gonna read like cover to, what's the saying, front to back? Cover to cover, but rather just like read the stories like here and then, like every now and then. But yeah, it has like a lot of different things, like poems and stories, and I think it will be interesting to see. I'm also curious to see on if, because a lot of the times in like queer anthology, like these kind of like queer collections through history, they usually tend to be more male centric, and especially like European centric, which I mean makes sense since that's kind of what's, I guess, more documented. At least I think. I don't know much about history, honestly, but I'm curious to see what kind of stuff is in there. And yeah, I really got excited about these books, especially the mangas. I think I'm gonna read these this month because I was just like looking through them and being like, oh, I really want to read this. So I'm probably, hopefully, going to read those. And yeah, I think that's it. So we can do one roll for one book that I'll have to come up on the spot. Maybe this was a bad idea, but I've committed. Where's my phone? There it is. I'm just like gonna do the dice on my phone so I can show it to you guys. Let me Google. So the first roll, if you don't know, I first roll a 6-sided dice to determine the category of the prompt that I'm going to get. So let me just Google D6. Okay, we're not gonna count whatever it just did. Okay, we have the thing. Let's roll. Roll? Why does it not want to roll? Ah, okay. What is it? A 5. That is a prompt challenge. Prompt challenge. Okay, so here we have 20 different prompts. So I'm gonna roll a d20 and see which one I get. And then hopefully be able to come up with a book to put on it. But I mean, this isn't really too big of a thing. I'm just doing it to have some fun. Okay, a d20. A 2, which is, ooh, a high average rating. Okay. Okay. Let me go on Goodreads because I don't know if Storygraph has the option to sort by like average ratings. It might, but I'll just do it on Goodreads. I'll do my... I have a shelf with all the books that I own but haven't read. I do need to update it to have more of the newer books that I've bought. But okay, I have it here. Let me change this to average rating. It's loading. Ooh, okay, the first one is A Tale of Seashells and Shenanigans by Alex Nonimus. I think this makes sense because their books aren't like very popular. I mean, this has 4 ratings, so it makes sense that it's a 5-star average, since I bet that like the majority of the people reading this book are already familiar with this author's work, so they'll probably already know that they're gonna like it. And it's a relatively recent book, I think. Yeah, it came out last month. So yeah, I think that'll be a fun read. Let me see, what's it about? Can I give you like a quick synopsis? I know I bought it, so I should probably know, but you know. Seems it has something to do with like a thrift store and a selkie. Okay, so a selkie leaves her sealskin in the donation pile at this thrift store, and and she does it accidentally, and then it's like a whole thing to get it back. It's okay, here's like a better... It's a cozy fantasy love story following 2 queer disabled teenagers learning how to navigate themselves, their trauma, and their ways back home. Okay, there we go. A better sort of tagline. But yes, that is it. Feel free to just let me know how you're doing in the comments below. If you have any questions, reading related or otherwise, I'll be happy to answer them. Happy to just chat. And yeah, thank you so much for watching this, even though it's very atypical of my usual content. And give it a like if you like this, and I hope to see you again very soon.